see it. Sigismund is 1,000 times better than Wenceslas ever was. I hear he's settled in Kuttenberg, and they can't praise him high enough in the city.
God bless. Good day.
You having trouble with the Takhovites?
I'd say it's time to get payback for all those shenanigans up there. You look like you might be good at that sort of thing. And since you're already here, why don't you help me out? Trust me, I'll make it worth your while. What do you say?
I might be able to help. But first, I want to know what this is about.
All right, listen up. Up on that hill over there, it's Takhov. All I want you to do is to go over there and give them a taste of their own medicine. We'll make some mischief and have a few laughs while we're at it. Well then, will you help me?
Nah, why not? I could use a good laugh.
Listen up then. Those naughty Takhovite bastards have this nice maypole in their village. They're so proud of it, you'd think it's a gift from the king himself. Especially Prochek. Nothing would teach them a lesson better than stealing it and putting it up on display here. Just to spite them.
So all I have to do is take their maypole and bring it to you?
Aye, exactly. But be careful no one sees you take it. It'll be even better if they don't even know it's missing. Besides, if they catch you, they'll beat the shit out of you. So be careful.
All right, I'll be careful. Thanks.
Excellent. But even if something goes wrong, don't go clobbering anyone over the head, understand? All I want to do is piss Prochek off.
You want to do what to him?
Piss him off! You know, mess with him for stealing our maypole and our pasture. But remember, no violence, all right?
Of course. I wouldn't hurt a fly. You can count on me.
But go ahead and talk to Prochek. At least you'll see what an asshole he is.
Why don't you like the Takhovites?
Because they're wankers. Arrogant wankers. Think they're above everyone else. But mainly, they stole our pasture, which has belonged to Giliov since time immemorial.
How does someone steal a pasture, anyway?
Like a prick, that's how. Behind Takhov, there's this strip of land leading toward the pond. It's supposed to belong to us, for grazing. There's an old tree there, and everything between the tree and the woods is ours. I was there when it was decided. I was about your age then, and I got a good beating under that tree, so I remember. And you can bet your ass I remember.
Did you take your pasture dispute to Lord Bombergov?
Of course we did. He asked the Truskovitz bailiff to resolve it, and he said we should toss it out amongst ourselves. And that if he heard about it ever again, he'll have both me and Prochek flogged. So that's that.
But how did they steal it from you?
Because they don't believe me. The treacherous bastard! They lie about it wherever they can, saying the deal was different. And it was a different tree near the forest.
Can anything be done about it? Can't you make some kind of agreement?
Well, we meet there every year. I tell them how it is, while they just spew their usual lies. So we kick each other's arses, and everything just stays the way it is. A while back, we fought for a right to use at least half of it. But because I grazed my cattle there, I had to pay those bastards for using their half as well. But that's not fair. All of it is supposed to be ours by law, for fuck's sake.
Aye, that's a tricky situation.
Tricky my ass. They're greedy liars. Simple as that.
They beat you up under the tree. Why would they do that?
You bet they did. That's just how it's done, obviously. When we agree on something like this, we take a young lad and give him a good pummeling, so that he'll remember in case the others forget. And we pick a young boy because he has a good memory and, Lord willing, still has many years in front of him. It makes sense?
Aye, you're right. I remember we used to do the same back where I'm from.
God bless.
Oh, g'day.
Aye, aye, you silly doggy. Here, mutt.
God grant you health. You silly doggy.
Phew. I'm all done in. Are you whistling at me? I'm not interested.
Never says no.
Greetings, friend.
These two
Greetings
fine
to
lads
you,
gave
friend.
her a go. And when Clara had enough, they went to see Annie for a bit of rough. See? It fits perfectly.
Same to you.
Does not
Good day.
fit. The stress is shifted to the wrong syllable in the second line, and in the last, you squashed 3 syllables into one iambus.
Aye.
I've heard
What can you
tomcats
do?
wailing better songs.
Stick in the mud.
Bungler,
Nobody.
barbarian.
And what can I get for you?
Yes.
Are these dice sad? You're just letting them sit there?
God grant you health.
Greetings. That was fine.
You have a kind.
Sacre.
So, this is your famous maypole.
God grant you health.
What a nice maypole. It'd be a shame if something...
What?
Nothing. Nothing. Really, very nice.
I'll say, the best in the country. Do you know why?
No?
Because it's the only one. We toppled the one in Zhelyov. They never saw it coming. Nobody gets the better of us. I don't think they're going to try anything, after that beating anyway. Even if they do, Hynek will raise the alarm and we'll kick their asses again. Well, my friend.
Doggy, good boy.
You're up early. What'll it be?
You have a beautiful maypole. Does that mean life here is just as beautiful?
Aye, we're doing pretty well, and our fellows guard that maypole well.
But if they're guarding it, who's doing the other work?
That's why they take turns. Our Alshik was guarding it not long ago, but now the neighbor's lad, Hynek, is in charge of it. At least he doesn't have the time to fool around at night.
Hey, Innkeeper, that beer!
So much dust.
Careful. Tell me then, what do you need, my friend?
That's a beautiful maypole you have there. You don't see that every day. I reckon all the other villagers must envy you.
They sure do. Them Zhelyevites try to steal it, but our fellas kick their asses. Why are you so interested in it anyway?
I'm from a small town myself, and I can appreciate a nice maypole. I remember having to guard it every year.
Tell me about it. A real headache it is, but for a good cause. Sorry, I'm just a bit on edge these days. And if someone had bad intentions, Hynek would show them how we do things here in Takhov. That's the one thing he's good for.
What's new around here?
You should pay a visit to Old Mouth sometime. He's our local storyteller, you know. He could tell you all sorts of interesting things, but only if you bring him some liquor. Don't forget, I have some here to sell, if you want. And that's all I'd say.
Sounds interesting. Thank you, Innkeeper. I wanted to ask about Hynek.
What about him?
Did he do something to you? Sounds like you're not exactly fond of him.
Aye, I'm not. He's been getting on my nerves ever since he got together with our Manka. I'm afraid he'll mess with her head and run off with her. Just like his bloody brothers did.
Where did they go?
What do I know? One day they just packed up and wandered off. Their village wasn't good enough for them, I reckon. I wouldn't mind if someone went and beat the thoughts of Manka out of his head. Maybe someone not from around here.
Why not? I could manage that.
He's not much of a fighter, but I reckon if you call him a vagrant or something, it'll surely rile him up. And I'll remember you did me a little favor.
That shepherd, Alshik, is he your son?
Aye, that's my boy. He's going to be really important one day. I arranged for him to learn from Bailiff Trush, so he'll have a better life. But now it's his turn to look after the livestock, so he can't go there. What a waste of time.
Can I spend the night here?
We're not set up for that here.
I'll pay you well if you let me spend the night here every now and then.
I'll let you sleep on the hay for a couple of groschen.
Let's agree on a price. How's this?
Look, offer a bit more and we can make a deal. Agreed. Like I said, there's plenty of room on the hay, but don't go wandering about my house.
Where should I lie down?
You can sleep up there in the barn, but be careful. The ladder is all rickety.
Good day to you.
Same to you.
I apologize.
Do you know Hynek at all?
He started going out with our Manka a while ago, but we put a stop to it. In short, he's not exactly the kind of fella I want in my family.
Why? Did he do something to you?
I don't want him whisking Manka away so we never see her again. His parents came here shortly after that terrible plague. There was a vacant farm, so they settled there. They had 3 sons, Hynek being the youngest. Say, have you met his brothers?
I haven't. Though I can't say I made an effort to.
Well, you couldn't have met them even if you wanted, because they're not here. Both of them left. They say the younger one had a sweetheart in Troskovitz and took her with him. Nobody knows where they ended up.
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. You make a good point.
I'm telling you, one of these days, he's going to pack up and disappear. And I don't want him taking our Manka along with him. He doesn't like folks talking about it. But wandering's in his blood whether he likes it or not. He's even got into fights over it. Just mentioning it is enough for him to clench his fists. I don't want Manka wasting her time with someone like him.
Prochek wants me to tan his hide.
Good. He deserves a good beating.
Is Alshik your son?
Aye, he's our boy, but he's giving Prochek a headache because he doesn't like having to herd sheep. Ask him about it if you want.
Where should I lie down?
You can sleep upstairs in the barn. There's plenty of room on the hay.
What do you want?
That's a beautiful maypole. We never had one quite like it back home.
Aye, ours is the prettiest. And also the only one in these parts. That's why we keep a close eye on it. Nobody's managed to steal it in recent years, but not for a lack of trying. Except, I feel sorry for my poor Hynek, having to worry about it.
Hynek?
He's my sweetheart. I suppose. It's complicated.
Complicated? Is something wrong?
Well, since you asked, my parents forbid us from seeing each other. They're all up in arms over it. They're just not fond of him. So we have to meet in secret, which is impossible now, since Hynek doesn't have the time because he has to watch the Maypole.
Well, what if someone took over for him and he had some free time tonight?
I'd like to see that. He's tired, but it's a matter of honor for him. Besides, the others wouldn't be happy if they found out.
We'll see. How's Alshik?
Tuh, how do you think? Great, of course. Pa's favorite.
What do you mean?
Oh, you know... Pa came up with this idea that he'd send Alshik to the bailiffs to learn to read and write. And that someday, when he's older, he'll get his own rat house.
Well, that's nice of him, isn't it?
I just wish he thought of what's best for me from time to time. It's always Alshik this, Alshik that. Ugh! Why even bother?
I'll have a look at your wares. Let's talk about the price.
All right. Why not?
What would you say to this?
That sounds really interesting. Lower it a little more, and I'll be satisfied. Aye. That sum will convince me. Pleasure doing business. God be with you.
Pressing all that hay? No, that's too harsh. Good doggy. Good boy.
Here, mutt. You silly mutt.
Lord be with you.
I talked to Manka. She mentioned you two are having some problems.
Well, if she already told you, no sense in covering it up. Aye, we are. Me and Manka love each other, but her parents are against it. I don't even know why. They just don't like me. They forbid her from seeing me. We went to a dance together in Troskovitz recently, but when they found out, they were furious. Now they're keeping close watch over her and causing problems for me as well.
Aye, I spoke with them. From what they were saying, they're scared you'll leave and take Manka with you. That's why they don't want you to be together.
That again? Bloody hell, I'll never hear the end of it, will I?
Well, they can't be watching her all the time, can they? Just go out late at night sometime. Nobody'll notice.
We've done that a few times, but we can't now. There's no time for it. I've got to stand watch at night. I was drawn. This year, they want to keep the maypole up until harvest, and that's still far off.
Listen, I've got an idea. How about I stand watch in your stead for one night? You and Manka can go somewhere in the meantime. Nobody'll know.
You do that for us?
Of course. It's nothing.
All right, we have a deal. Ask Manka and let me know what she says.
Greetings to you.
Greetings to you too.
You mentioned you and Hynek are having some trouble.
Well, hi.
I talked to him, and we came up with a plan. I'll take over guard duty for him, and you two can have some time to yourselves.
Well, that sounds pretty good, actually. So how are we going to do it?
Tonight, when everyone's asleep, you'll sneak out and wait for Hynek. I'll take over his watch, and you two, well, you can do whatever you want.
All right, agreed. Tell Hynek I'll be waiting for him. He'll know where to go. And tell him I'm looking forward to tonight.
Good news. Manka agrees. She'll be waiting for you tonight. She says you'll know where.
We'll meet by the Maypole as soon as it gets dark, all right?
Aye, it's a deal.
Mutt, come here.
What's the hold up, Innkeeper?
We could block it with some rocks and nights.
People call you the Mouth, right? They say you tell all sorts of stories.
I'm no mouth to you. My name is Zdenek, got that? What do people call you then? Bughead? Arseface?
I'm sorry, Zdenek. I'm Henry.
Pleased to meet you. But you were right about the stories. I could tell you stories so sad they'd make the devil cry. Or would you prefer something so scary it'll make the hairs on your ass turn white? But it's a lot of hard work for me. Now, if you had something to drink or a couple of groschen, that might help loosen my tongue.
To your health, my friend.
Thank you very much. I knew you wouldn't leave me high and dry. So what kind of story would you like to hear?
I'm far too old for fairy tales. Tell me a scary story. One with blood and violence.
Don't you worry. I've got just the one. I just hope you don't shit yourself with fear. So, once upon a time, there lived in these very lands 2 brothers. The older was called Kuba, the younger, Matthias. They were both woodcutters, like their father and his father before him. One day, at the height of summer, they were working in the woods. The air was as hot as a furnace, so Matthias went to a nearby pond to cool himself. But as he was leaning over the cold water, there was a loud splash. His axe had got loose from his belt. In haste, he began to search the muddy bed of the pond, and his hands soon touched something hard and heavy. He pulled it out and could not believe his eyes. He pulled out an axe. Yes, but not his old one. It was an axe made of pure silver.
Good God. I'd grab that without a second thought.
Maybe you would, but Matthias would never. He was an honest man, and with a big swing he threw the silver axe back. He searched the pond again, and this time he pulled out his own axe. Nothing but dull iron and old wood.
I reckon that was the right choice. Who knows who the silver axe belonged to?
Well, quite. Listen on. Matthias was just about to leave when suddenly a water goblin came out of the pond, silver axe in his hands, and he said, "You're a righteous man, Matthias, and for your honesty, you may keep both axes." Matthias, not hanging around for the goblin to change his mind, took up both axes, gave us thanks, and ran to tell Kuba all about it. Kuba, however, was not best pleased with his little brother's fortune. He deeply envied Matthias for his newfound wealth. So, he set out to try the same thing. He ran as fast as his legs could carry him straight to the pond, threw his own axe in, and began a pretend search for it. Yet Kuba had no luck. He pulled out the axe he'd thrown in himself. So he tried again. Tricked by sunlight, he grabbed something shiny, only to pull out his old iron axe again. Enraged, he hurled his axe back into the water and yelled, "Fuck this axe! I want a silver one." But the water goblin heard his shameful cry and was greatly upset by Kuba's greed. So, when Kuba reached down into the water for a third time, the water goblin seized his hand, pulled him down whole to the dark depths, and drowned him.
Well, all was as it should have been. It was Kuba's fault.
I don't think so. It seems Matthias didn't either. He went to the water goblin and begged for his brother's body so he could take him home and bury him. But the path back from the pond led over a steep hill, and carrying the weight of the waterlogged body exhausted Matthias. He stopped to rest by an old oak tree, and he used a silver axe to cut off a branch that would serve as a walking stick. But it wasn't enough. Somehow, it was still getting harder to continue up the hill. Then Matthias realized it wasn't his brother's body that was weighing him down. It was the silver axe. The axe was the cause of all this trouble. So he started bashing the silver axe against a big stone with all his might, trying to destroy it. Yet no matter what, he couldn't even make a dent. With the last of his strength, Matthias climbed to the top of the hill. He knew he could go no further, so he found a pretty spot with a view over the valley and dug his brother a grave. There, he buried both his brother and the silver axe that had brought such pain upon them. His final act was to stick the oak branch in the ground by the grave. But lo and behold, the branch grew green leaves and became a tree. The locals have had no dealings with the water goblin since then, but some have had the bad luck to bump into him. And when you walk by the pier, where it all happened, you can still hear his chuckling.
That was a very nice story.
Story? What story? It's the truth.
Why hasn't anyone gone looking for the axe, then?
Because it brings misfortune. Didn't you listen to me at all? Look for yourself if you wish. Rock Tower Pond isn't far from here. The Water Goblin's Pier is somewhere among the reeds. But leave me out of it. I'm fine here with my drink. Care, friend.
Aye, come here.
Lord be with you.
Would you like to play dice?
What game would you like to play?
Wagoners.
Let's play.
Why did I even agree to this? I'm going to lose my money again.
Good doggy. Good boy.
What are we gonna do today?
And now I'll fuck it all up. Or not. There! That turned out all right. Sacra! Let it be now. I want to play too, you know.
You silly doggy.
Sacra! Yeah. You were suspiciously lucky. I'm going to keep my eye on you.
I'm sorry.
Here you go. Take it.
Your sister.
Why'd you ask?
I heard she was sick. I just wanted to know if she's feeling better.
It was nothing. Just a slight cold. Aye, a man would be calling for the priest, but women are made of stronger stuff.
I'll drop by and visit her sometime then.
Feel free. You're no longer in mortal danger.
Say, I have this fancy maypole from Takhov here if you're interested.
My God! They're going to slit the toast! Nobody's got them this good in years! You're a champ, Henry! As soon as I saw you, I knew you had it in you. I promised you something, didn't I? And I'm a man of my word.
I wouldn't expect anything less. Thanks. Happy to help.
What do you say we pull one more trick, eh? I'd make it worth your while, of course.
But the river there has a powerful current.
All right.
The dead man had
Why not?
Great. Now listen up. Let's really ruin their day, shall we?
I'm all ears.
Them Takhovites grazed their sheep near the pasture they took from us. And you're going to scatter their sheep into the woods. What do you say? They'll have to herd them all back. I reckon they'll be proper pissed off.
You don't see something like that every day.
All right. I'm sure they won't be happy about that.
That they won't. But that's not all. Prochek's beloved son is in charge of the thief now. You'll make him look like a complete moron.
Prochek's son?
Aye. Prochek is in charge there. He gives me the most grief. And they all care about his opinion. If it wasn't for him, this whole pasture thing would have been sorted a long time ago. On top of that, he thinks his son is gifted, and that he'll be a bailiff somewhere one day. Nothing will piss him off more than seeing his son be the village idiot.
All right. That's a good plan.
Of course it is. I came up with it. The Takhovites will be doing the wash thing soon. If you manage to drive the sheep through the drying laundry, I reckon they won't be too thrilled about it. I'll even give you an extra reward.
Say, Olbram, how am I supposed to lure away Prochek's son?
You'll figure it out. Actually, wait. I've got an idea. Slip this into his food and you'll see.
What will I see?
It's what I give to my cattle for bellyache. Prochek's lad is going to sit all over himself. And while he's gone, you'll be able to chase off his sheep.
All right. That sounds like a plan. I'm on it.
Great. But same as before, all right? Don't go killing anyone, and don't get caught.
God bless.
Were you at the last mass? I didn't see you there.
Just as well. I fell asleep during the sermon.
I'm not surprised. The sermons have been awful lately. If I hear about the woman with 10 silver coins one more time, I'll scream.
Maybe we could sneak some wine in. That would make it more bearable.
Or just say sod it and not go.
What are you talking about?
We should do so.
You want to go to hell?
Hell or an... ending, boring mass. What's the difference? See you later.
There.
Have a good day.
God be with you.
Better already.
God bless.
Yeah, same to you.
Filthy dead. Damn it.
Oh, you mutt.
Who's herding livestock in this village?
Depends. The young lads take turns. Now it's Manka's brother, Alshik. Yeah, then.
Why is this?
I really ought to make a fool of that. He'll be the laughing stock of the whole region.
Why the hell do they pour the beer on the table?
should get going.
Good day to you, friend. My wife and I
One
have
bit.
been with cabbage. Rolling them in. Yeah. That's what you said last week. It's good for you. Pickled cabbage dries out the white bile. And makes you ill. You idiot. You've been hanging around with Miller Crazel again, haven't you? What if I have? He made me a bit hot.
You're seeing this.
The other day, he told us to give the calendar What? You just let that do it, did you? Well, that's all you like. Well, if I told you.
I'll be right with you.
Aye, come here.
And what can I get for you?
I apologize.
A large beer for me. Tell me then, what did he give you for it?
Sure, I tell you, and you dob me in.
Crazy? Why would I dob you in?
Gossiping about it won't do anyone any good.
You think I'll blurt it out to the first person I meet?
No, I just want to be sure nobody finds out. You never know.
No, that's like
I'm gonna tell on you, and you'll be sorry.
How's it going?
Just like any other day, I reckon. Wait a mo. You were here just before our maypole disappeared.
I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't do anything. I'm sorry someone stole it, but I had nothing to do with that. Just a strange coincidence.
All right. Sorry for accusing you.
How are the sheep? Do you have any trouble with wolves?
Not really. There were a few prowling around recently, but we managed to chase them off. I'm keeping an eye out for them. But other than that, herding is a bloody bore. I come here every day, eat the lunch my sister makes for me, and stare at the sheep.
I've never herded sheep. Pa was a blacksmith, so I used to help him out in the smithy. The work made my whole body ache.
My pa sends me to the Troskovitz bailiff. He wants me to learn to read and write. It all just makes my head ache.
Yeah, I reckon that's nonsense. What use is reading to a farmer?
My thoughts exactly. But Pa insists.
I've got to go. Take care.
Aye, you too.
Didn't you hear me? Get off my pasture!
Sit and stay.
Ave Maria.
I'm going to lose my money again. Whatever.
I'll have a beer. Mutt!
Good doggy. Good boy.
Voice, cut nothing to you.
Oh, you fool.
I'm done with the sheep.
Ha ha! Great! How did it go? Tell me.
Well, I scattered their sheep like you wanted.
That's perfect.
I also trampled their laundry, like you mentioned.
You did? That must have been quite unpleasant for them. They'll have to start over.
Alshik ran like the wind after I slipped him that specialty of yours.
What a sight that must have been.
Aye. I reckon he's still throwing up.
You've taken care of everything. You deserve a reward. And with a bit on top as well. Like I promised. Since you did such a good job.
Thanks, Olbram.
Don't mention it. You're a handy fella. But you could be even better. With my help, of course. They say I'm a good teacher. And listen, one more thing. We'll be meeting the Takhovites soon to discuss the pasture they stole from us. I'd like you to come with us. If you're not against it, that is.
What could you teach me?
Well, I'd say I've experienced quite a lot in my long interesting life. And now, in my old age, I have much wisdom to share.
Do you have anything specific in mind?
I could help you with your craftsmanship. You know, like when you're going to make something. I also spent a lot of time with animals as a child.
That sounds good. I'd love to make use of your experience and learn something new.
It'll take some time, and maybe you could give me a forgotten in return, eh?
Tell me how to take better care of my things. How to be more handy.
When I used to run around the house, I learned all sorts of things. I'll tell you something, so listen up. I won't repeat myself, so pay attention.